formula on a yellow legal pad. Sat in the kitchen at 2:30. The numbers all came out exactly right. That's when I knew what I had to do. I told myself it was for the family. I told myself it was for the bills. But a man doesn't cook at midnight unless something else is what he feels. I did it for them. That's what I said. I did it for them. Keep saying it instead. Asleep down the hall, Skylar breathing slow beside the door. I stood there watching the blue flame catch and told myself I wasn't this before. A good man measures what he leaves behind. A great man measures what he builds instead. I told myself I was a great man. I was measuring something else instead. I did it for them. That's what I said. I did it for them. Keep saying it instead. The lab smelled like ammonia and copper, like something burning underneath the floor. I knew the smell of something I'd become. I stayed because I wanted to want more. I stayed because I recognized the door. Wakes the same. He drinks his coffee, sits in his same chair, and calls himself a different name. I did it for them. The guitar answered and keeps answering long after the voice stops. 32 students and a broken fan. Periodic table pinned above the board. I wrote the elements in perfect rows. None of them knew what those symbols store. I had a mind that should have built cathedrals. They put it in a room with dusty light. I smiled and graded papers in September and drove home in the wrong direction every night. I was smarter than them, always knew it too. I was smarter than this, smarter than what I do. The Schwartz paper should have had my name on it. I let it go in 1986. Thought there'd be another chance to matter. Thought you could still rebuild what ambition quits. My son used to a child's can be. I wonder when he stopped believing in it. I wonder if he stopped believing me. I was smarter than this, always knew it too. I was smarter than this, smarter than what I do. The doctor said the word in a wide room, and something underneath me cracked in hell. Not the cancer, something underneath me cracked in hell. Not the cancer, something over there. The thing I kept compressed and never smelled. The door I locked in 1985. Finally knocked back from the other side. Last time on a Friday, rode home quiet past the strip mall lights, somewhere between the school and still to light. Ward was a man who apologized too much. Ward cleared his throat before he spoke. Ward drove a Pontiac and clipped his coupons. Ward was the punchline that he never broke. Chose a different name one Tuesday morning. Stood in the desert in the yellow light. Said it once out loud to nobody. Heisenberg, the name said right. Say my name, not the other one. Say my name, what I've become. Walt had a number where his work was printed. Walt had a boss who spoke above his head. I ran the lab like every calculation had been building to this moment while Walt slept. There's a hat on the shelf in the closet, black brim, the kind of dangerous man wears. Gray might have made $1 billion off the work they used to have my name. They shook my hand at the party, then I I stood there and I smiled through the shame. I could have said something, I could have told the room what I built, but I poured another drink and said nothing, and drove home carrying the weight of it. That was better than all of them. Always was, and they knew I was better than all of them. That's the thing that burned through. Jokes across the dinner table, laughed at his own voice all night long. I watched him and I counted all the reasons a man like that could never last as long. Jesse was supposed to be the student, supposed to be the one that kept in line, but something happened in that trailer kitchen. He started thinking half of it was his. I was better than all of them. Always was, and they knew I was better than all of them. That's the thing that burned too. You want the truth, I'll tell you in this moment. When the blue came out clean and bright as glass, I felt something that I never felt in 30 years, like finally standing somewhere I was supposed to last. Not for the money, not for the cancer either. For the first time in a long time, I felt real. In the room, this room keeps getting smaller every year, until the only man you're better than is the one you used to be before all this got clear. Better than everyone. The guitar agrees, then decides otherwise. He used to call me Dad. He learned to walk sideways down the hallway, one hand on the wall, one hand on there. I used to watch him from the kitchen doorway, the kind of watching that a father does when he's still there. He started calling himself Flynn for a reason, a name that wasn't attached to what I gave. I think he knew before the news did that Walter White was something he couldn't say. Flynn, what do you tell them, Flynn, when they ask about him, the man who was your father? What do you say? Me right up until the moment he stood in the doorway and saw what I'd become. I saw his face go through the calculation. The answer came out wrong and then he was done. I put money in the crawl space for his college. I told myself it was for him to use. By then I knew he'd never take a dollar that had my fingerprints on it and my blues. Flint, what do you call them, Flint? When they ask about him, man, who was your father? What do you say? I built an empire with my hands in chemistry, and at the end I had an empty house. My son changed his name, my wife changed the locks, my brother-in-law died, and what's left is what the silence talks about. I did it for my family, you'll say that, and they'll stop because the next word doesn't have a sound. Table now, someone might have asked him about me. He picks up his fork and moves the food around and finds a listro thing that sets him free. Flint, the guitar says it's softer. One note for each year the boy lost. First story was simple enough. A second job, a tutoring class at night. But second stories need a third one behind them, and third ones need a fourth one to come out right. I told Skylar I was going for a drive. Drove 40 miles out past the county line. Came back smelling like the lab and desert. Said nothing, poured a glass of soap and fine. The second version sounds just like the first. The second version, you rehearse and rehearse until the story starts to feel like yours. She started checking dates on the receipts, started watching either way a wife does. When something underneath the surface shifted, and she can't name it yet, but knows it was. I answered every question before she asked it. I made the answers land before the doubt. I was so far ahead of every question, I forgot what I was actually talking about. The second version sounds just like the first. The second version, you rehearse and rehearse until the story starts to feel like yours. A bad man knows he's lying, a dangerous man forgets. I stopped checking the version somewhere around the fifth or sixth, just pull, and whatever came out, that was the truth now. That was me, that was Walter White, being completely honest about what Walter White had decided to be. She sat across the table one Sunday morning and looked at me the way she used to nod, like she was waiting for the version that was real, like she remembered what I was before I forgot. The second version, the guitar knows which one is true and won't say There was a man who knocked on my door once, and I should have opened it and let it in. Instead, I stood behind it in the kitchen and decided I was not the kind that danced. I am the one who knocks, I told her that. She sat there with her hands flat on the table. I needed her to understand the difference between the man she married and the one who was capable.
I am the danger,
Not what comes for me.
I am the danger.
That's not pride, that's clarity. Mike said I had pride issues, he could see. Gus kept his distance like a careful man. Jesse kept saying, Walt, we could have stopped this. I kept saying, Jesse, no one else had a plan. The empire didn't build itself out of nothing. The empire came from knowing what I knew. Every man in that desert needed someone who could do the chemistry the way I do.
I am the danger,
Not what comes for me.
I am the danger.
That's not pride, that's clarity. There's a thing that happens in the body when you stop being afraid of the outcome, when you stop calculating what they'll say and start calculating what you want. I felt it for the first time in the desert, standing over something I had made, and the feeling was so clean, so far from the classroom, so far from the coupons I stayed. It's some She was standing by the bedroom window. The light came in behind her in a line. She turned around and something in her face said she'd already read between the lines. I gave her the third version, calm and steady. She heard it out the way she always did. Then she set it down like something sharp and heavy and said nothing, which was worse than what she said. That face she made across the kitchen, that face she made when I kept talking, she already knew before I finished. Scream, that's the part I couldn't use. She calculated quietly and moved. She opened accounts and kept her distances measured, like a woman building something she would need. I needed her to be afraid of leaving. I needed her to choose to stay from fear. That I got instead was Skylar Lambert, who measured every exit year by year. That face she made across the kitchen, that face she made when I kept talking, she already knew before I finished. When it finally came out all the way, she sat across from me in the living room, and she wasn't crying and she wasn't angry. She was just someone waiting for a room to clear up smoke so she could breathe again. She looked at me the way you look at something you survived, not someone. I keep seeing it in the quiet moments, the way her eyes went through me to the wall, the moment when I was no longer Walter, the moment I became the thing she saw. That face she made, the slide guitar holds the note, till it fades into the room. They put the check on Saul's conference table, more zeros than a teacher sees in life. I could have walked out clean on a Tuesday, gone home and told the truth and kept my wife. I picked it up and looked at it a moment, felt the weight of it the way a man does, when everything he said he was doing this for is sitting in his hands, and then he does. They offered me the door, I looked at it too long. They offered me the door, I put the check back out, and something in the room knew I was staying. myself a lot of things that afternoon. The truth was simpler than the reasons. The truth sat in my chest and didn't move. I didn't want the door they were offering. I wanted what was on the other side of the room. They offered me the door. I looked at it too long. They offered me the door. I put the check back down, and something in the room knew I was saying the cancer would have killed me on a schedule. The lab gave me the feeling that I'd chosen it. A sick man gets a timeline from his doctor. The man I'd become was choosing what came next. There's a difference between dying and deciding. I understood that difference in that room when I tapped the check face down on the table and walked back toward the lab in the afternoon. If they ask why I stayed when I could have left, I'll give them reasons shaped like a good man. But in the quiet where the reasons stop performing, I know exactly what I am. They offer me the door. The bass keeps going. The door stayed shut. Pure. Nobody in the world had ever done it. Every other cook was running native. I sat in that trailer and I owned it. The color came from the methylamine process, pale blue like shadow water in the light. Nobody cooking in the desert saw it, because nobody in the desert had it right. 99.1, that number was mine. 99.1, proof I was designed for something more than what they gave me. Jesse asked me once, why does the color matter? A customer just wants to feel and walk. I told him standards are the only thing that matters when everything else in your life is someone else's fault. Gus understood he ran the kind of operation where quality was the only language spoken. I gave him something no one else could manufacture, and for a moment felt like something wholly not broken. 99.1, that number was mine. 99.1, proof I was designed for something more than what they gave me. You wanna know what drives a man past reason, past the point where the sensible hand stops? It's not the money and it's not the cancer, it's the moment when the quality unlocks. Something you've been carrying since the beginning, a proof that sits in crystal blue and clear. It says the thing you always knew about yourself was real, was here, was worth the cost of being here at all. samples in their evidence room. That Buell gave me away before a word. The color of the best work I ever did left a signature nobody could have blurred. 99.1. The guitar holds the note as long as it can, then lets it go like everything else. Guitar holds the note as long as it can, then lets it go like everything else. 99.1. I came to talk to Jesse in the morning. Pushed the door and found him in the dark. She was sleeping on the side beside him. I could see the rise and fall of stars. Then something shifted in the way she was breathing. She turned onto her back and something changed. I stood there in the doorway doing nothing, and watched the distance in between us widen into range. I stood in a room, and I let it. I stood in a room, and I watched. I told myself it wasn't what I chose. I told myself I simply didn't act. But a man who watches and decides to watch has made a choice. The choosing is the fact. Jesse doesn't know and Jesse can't know the weight of that would finish what is left. I have held the secret like a stone I swallowed, and built the rest of everything on top of that. I stood in the room, and I let it. I stood in the room, and I watched. She would have taken him away from me. She would have taken Jesse and the work. A man in my position calculates the cost of every variable in the dark. But I know what I did in that apartment. I know the work for standing in the room, watching a person reach the end of breathing and closing. He found the book in the bathroom on a Sunday. That man's name was in the cupboard's crease. He worked it out the way a good cop would, and I watched him put the pieces in the reach. I tried to warn him on the road that morning, told him let this go. told him walk away. He stood there in that desert with his handcuffs and said the only thing a man like Hank would say. He said, you don't know who you're talking to. He was right about that. He said, do what you're gonna do. I knew where this was at. I got on my knees in the sand and I begged him. Money bears everything I built. I thought if I gave them enough of what I'd made, they'd let the only decent man I knew stand still. They didn't wait for me to finish talking. The desert doesn't wait for anything to end. I heard it from a distance, I won't name him, and I knew what kind of man I'd been. He said, you don't know who you're talking to. He was right about that. He said, do what you're gonna do. I knew where this was at. In that story I called him. He came, the men I brought there did the rest. I have rehearsed a version where I didn't cause it. It doesn't hold. The desert doesn't accept revisions. It just holds what's buried. Chose to be silent. A woman learned what her husband's brother was. Doesn't need the details to understand the violence. The desert we made. The piano plays the note again. Once, then done. Then done. Life is big and crispy on the edges. He set himself at the table before school. I'd stand there at the stove in the early morning, and for a while it was enough to make it real. He had his mother's way of eating slowly. He had my eyes behind a different face. We talked about the ice that touched the weather, all the talk that held a family in place. The breakfast table, for all of it. The breakfast table, the last ordinary thing. I still felt like something. The night he found out, said if that let it land the way it did. He didn't yell, he had more dignity than yelling. He was more than I deserved to call my kid. I wanted to explain the part where I was right, the part where it was for him and for the rest. He looked at me the way a person looks at a man who failed every possible test. The breakfast table, one on his father said the address clearly held the line. The boy I made the bacon crispy for on Tuesdays turned me in before I crossed the final line. And I think about that morning now, not what he did, but what it cost him to be the one who did the right thing in a house where no one else was doing it. Somewhere I'll never touch it. The trust was set and sealed and sent his way. He'll spend his life explaining who his father was, and I gave him nothing useful left to say. The breakfast table, the bass walks out slowly, the guitar follows, neither one comes back. Comes back. She asked me again why I did it, the version she needed to finish the story. I had the answer ready like always. The family, the bills, the cancer, the glory. But something in me was done with the version. Something in me had nothing left to prove. I sat there across the table in the kitchen, and for the first time in years I told the truth. I did it for me, not the family. I did it for me, because it made me feel alive. I did it for me, and it worked while it worked. Talking, she sat with it the way you sit with weight. I've spent 3 years performing for her benefit. She finally got the man behind the face. I was good at it, that's not a small thing. In another life that sentence is a gift. A man who's good at something he was built for is the closest thing to purpose that there is. I did it for me, the family. I did it for me, because it made me feel alive. I did it for me, and it worked while it worked. You wanna hate me for the honesty, after all the lying I've been doing, but the lie was what I gave you for 3 years. This is the first real thing I've said to you. I built an empire in the desert. I ran the best operation in the Southwest, and I was good at it in a way. I was never good at anything. Before that first cook in that trailer, don't ask me to be sorry that it happened. I'm sorry for the cost of it, not for the thing itself. Oh! Besides, we got a witness, she wrote me. I did it for me. The guitar plays it clean. No apology in the tone. Just a note as it was. Made it in the first lap on a Tuesday. Sealed it in a capsule, careful clean. The kind of work you do when you want options, the kind you keep for things you haven't seen. It sat behind the outlet plate for months, small and quiet in the wall beside the bed. The house was full of everything that shifted, but that one thing stayed still inside my head. In the outlet, behind the plate, the thing I made. In the outlet, behind the plate, the plan I saved. For the moment when I needed one more move. Tuco in the beginning, then it was for Gus I changed my mind. Then it sat and waited like a patient for the name, the time, and anger would assign. Jesse found it once, I thought he found it. The cigarette that disappeared the fear. He burned the house down looking for the answer, and the answer was that I put it here. In the outlet, behind the plate, the thing I made. In the outlet, behind the plate, the plan I saved. For the moment when I needed one more move. Dangerous man is loud, it's visible, it's obvious, it is coming. The most dangerous man I ever was standing in the kitchen saying nothing, with a plan already made, already sealed, already in the wall, already patient, already waiting for the name that would make it necessary. I was never the under. In the outlet, behind the plate. It bought me out for $5,100 in 1987 in the fall. I needed the money more than I needed the argument. I signed the papers in a conference hall. They put my name on the website for a season. I found a listed third below the fold. Then the redesign removed me from the masthead, and gray matter carried on and grew and sold. talking about the company they built. I sat in the living room with Skylar sleeping and calculated everything I'd spill. They came to a party once in Albuquerque, the kind of wealthy that doesn't need to say it. They shook my hand and asked about the teaching, and I smiled at both of them and let them play it. $5,100 for everything, for everything. $5,100 for what became $1 billion thing. I signed my name and let it go, and let it go. What made a teacher cook methamphetamine? And I could give you cancer, and I could give you money, and I could give you pride. But underneath all of it, beneath the transformation and the empire, there was a dinner party in 2009 where I stood with a glass of wine and smiled at the man who had my name on a building. And I drove home and I did not sleep, and in the morning I started making to cover the medical, said it on the news with their faces straight. $5,100 and a cover story is the offer from the man who got there late. $5,100, the slide guitar takes it out high and lonesome. He failed my class in 2002. I knew what he could do. He was lazy in the way to cover something, the kind of lazy that a teacher recognizes. A boy with more in him than he was showing, who decided Sean had no surprises. I told him once he had potential. He looked at me like no one ever had. I understood the look I wanted younger, before gray matter and the years gone bad. The student I kept when I should have let go. The student I kept because I needed him to need me so. Because he made me free. Poison rock to keep him in the game. A child I used to hold, a man in place. I calculated what the dose would do and put it in his juice and left no trace. He figured it out eventually, mostly put enough together that he hated me right. I watched the hate replace the need I built, and understood I finally got it right. The student I kept when I should have let go. The student I kept because I needed him to need me so. Because he made me feel like what I was worth. had seen me whole, who had worked beside me in the lab, who knew what 99.1 looked like and where.
When I asked him to,
He was my student.
he became my conscience.
I kept him close so I wouldn't have to listen.
And he made me listen anyway.
He drove away in someone else's car that night. I watched from the ground until the lights were gone. Jesse Pinkman got to be alive without me. That's the last good thing I held on long enough to do. The tune I kept, the guitar plays what the voice won't say. Long after the words out, this is in Braille. I drove a stolen car across the state line, New Mexico in winter, gray and flat. I had a plan already in my pocket. I knew exactly where this ended at. I called her from a payphone in the cold. She put the phone down hard, I understand. I told her where to find the money for the lawyers. I told her everything I still had planned. I know what I'm doing tonight. I've known it for a while. I know what I'm doing tonight. And for the first time in a long time, that's enough to make it worth the drive. I went to see the Schwartz family once more. Walked in the house and said the thing I meant. The money would get to Walt Jr. without me. That was the last clean thing I had to spend. I called the DA and said enough. Let them record the voice, let them have the trace. The cancer had already made the schedule. All I was doing now was choosing the place. I know what I'm doing tonight. I've known it for a while. I know what I'm doing tonight. And for the first time in a long time, that's enough to make it worth the drive. They'll say he died in the lab he built. They'll say the bullet caught him on the way down. They'll say Walter White came back to finish something. They'll be mostly right about the ending, but they won't know what it felt like to drive across the desert in the dark with nothing left to manage, nothing left to hide, nothing left to carry but the weight of all the wings I was, and the road that led from there to here, and the land at the end of it, smelling like ammonia and copper, like the first night, like the only night that ever really mattered. I touched the equipment one last time at midnight. Ran my hands across the steel the way you do. climate control, the temperature exact. The kind of space a chemist builds in silence when the life above it started coming back. I designed the ventilation on a legal pad, sketched the condenser columns in the dark. Ghost gave me the resources, I gave him the product. And somewhere in between, I gave a lab my heart. The lab below the laundry, where I was real. The lab below the laundry, the only place I got to feel like what I was worth the space I occupied. We set the process running the way a student watches when he knows that what he's seeing is beyond his reaching, but close enough to feel before it goes. I knew it of myself when it was over. Walked the length of it one final time. The equipment polished, everything in order. The last clean thing before I crossed the line. Below the laundry, where I was real. The lab below the laundry, the only place I got to feel like what I was worth the space I occupied. A man can build a thing so far beneath him that the world above forgets that he's still there. And in that underground he becomes himself completely, without audience, without care. I was Walter White down in that basement, not Heisenberg, not teacher, not the husband, just a chemist with a process and a standard and a blue. That blue guy finally gotten somewhere. Since the last day, I have missed it the way a man misses the one room where he didn't have to pretend. They found the equipment in wreckage after enough to understand what I had made. The blue residue on surfaces and tubing, the signature of everything I gave. The lab below the long gate, but bass keeps walking down further than the music goes. Good man doesn't need to say he's good. He doesn't run the calculation every night. He doesn't rehearse the version of the story that makes what he did come out in the right light. I taught chemistry for 15 years in Albuquerque. I coached a car wash on the weekends for the cash. I made my son's breakfast and I mowed on Saturday. And I told myself that made me worth the math. What I actually was is harder to say. What I actually was is what I kept away from every version of every story I told. A good man who's given a hard diagnosis leans on the people who are standing close. I pushed everyone to arm's length in September and cooked in a trailer and called it what I chose. A good man, when he watches someone dying, does not calculate the cost and hold the door. I stood in that apartment doing nothing and told myself I hadn't done it before. What I actually was is harder to say.
It's hard to say
What I actually was is what I kept away from every version of every story I told. I wanna tell you there was goodness in there somewhere.
A real thing underneath the pride and the design.
I wanna give you the teacher,
Give you the father,
give you the man who loved his wife one time. But the honest version,
doesn't need my help now.
the unnamed version is what's left when I'm gone. Paul Jr. sitting at a table saying nothing. Skylar in a house that isn't hers. Jesse driving somewhere without knowing where he's going. In a desert holding everything I earned. That's what I actually was.
That's the full account.
Without the version,
Without the version,
without the frame,
just a body
and the blue and the silence.
that a man needs.
When the story's finally done, I was a great chemist. That part is not nothing. In another world, that sentence is enough. But greatness without goodness is just damage. And I ran out of time to tell them apart. What I actually was,
The finger pick and return.
alone again, the way it started. The cancer had a timeline from the doctor. 3 months, maybe 4, he said that clear. I thanked him like a man who'd heard the number and drove out to the desert in between. A man who's gonna die on someone's schedule is a man who hasn't chosen how he ends. I chose to live, I chose the night, I chose the moment. A dying man who still decides the bends on my own terms.
On my own terms.
Not the cancer,
On the cancer.
on my own terms.
On the D-Day.
I decide the night, I decide the room, I decide. They wanted me in handcuffs in a courtroom, wanted me to sit and let them name me. I came back to New Mexico with a different plan. Something that would not be able to frame me. I set the machine running in the compound. off on a walk. Felt the harm of everything I felt beneath me, and let it say the things I couldn't talk on my own terms.
Not the cancer,
Not the cancer,
cause the cancer
on my own terms.
not was needed.
I decide the night. I decide the room. I decide there's a kind of freedom
In a man
who has nothing left to negotiate,
who's dead,
who's already past the point of managing impressions, who's standing in the one room where he was gray. I felt it in my lab that final evening, clean and cool and certain as a formula. The man who built this empire from a trailer gets to choose the last line of the protocol. They found me in the morning on the floor there. The equipment still was running when they came. The product still inside the condenser column. Still blue, still 99.1 the same on my own time.
not the cancer,
Guitar tries it
on
hard,
the cancer,
let it go slowly,
not the needed.
the way he let it go. She picked up on the second ring. I heard it. I knew the DA was on the line. I planned every word before I dialed the number. I gave her a performance and a lifeline. I told her she was nothing, told her worthless, said everything a guilty woman needs to hear. So when they played the tape in the attorney's office, the victim in the room would be made clear. The call I gave her was the last clean thing. The call I gave her was a constructed thing. But underneath it, where's the one true line? She understood, I know she understood it. Her silence on the other end was not afraid. It was a woman recognizing what her husband was doing with the last card that he played. I screamed at her for 2 full minutes steady, said things I did not mean in any version, and underneath each sentence was the message: this tape will be a cover when I'm gone. The call I covered was the last clean thing. The call I gave her was a constructed thing. But underneath it was the one true line. People will say, Walter, why love no one? That every act was calculation dressed as care. That even at the end he was performing. I won't argue it, the evidence is there. But on that phone to say on the tape.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. I stopped needing it somewhere in year 2. A man who does what I did in the desert doesn't get to ask that much of you. But I am still standing in this body, still breathing in this morning cold and clear. I have counted every cost I put on others, and I am not collapsing from the fear.
Not forgiven. Not forgiven. Not forgiven.
Still here. The weight doesn't lift what a man can carry weight and still move. I've seen men who did less fall apart from guilt, who spent their last years asking to be absolved. I don't have the luxury of that performance. The thing I built is too large to be dissolved. So I stand inside it like a man who built a structure and lives inside the consequence each day. Not proud of it, I've had proud a long time ago, but present in it in a way that won't give way.
Not forgiven.
Still standing.
Not forgiven.
Still here. The weight doesn't lift, but a man can carry weight and still move. There's a version of this story where I crumble, where I wear the guilt like a visible wound, where I sit in a room and ask of God for something, where I let the weight define the size of the room. I'm not that version, I was never that version, a man who built what I built underground. Doesn't end on his knees in someone's concept of mercy. And standing in the one room where what he was real and undeniable and blue.
Not forgiven.
I know the full accounting,
Not redeemed.
the ledger doesn't close.
Not forgiven.
But standing in the body that did all of it,
Forgiven.
is the last form of honesty I know.
Not forgiven.
Still standing,
Forgiven.
the bass and drums carry it out, the guitar the last to go.
Strip away the empire and the bodies. Strip away the name I gave myself at night. Strip away the cancer and the family. The chemistry was always right. A molecule is honest in a way that people long. It does exactly what the formula requires. I trust it
case study in how chemistry becomes crime. But a student somewhere in that room will notice the purity and wonder at the mind. The chemistry was always right. The guitar is returns, competent, unchanged.
Hotel room had one lamp and a window. I sat beside it with the parking lot below. The car outside belonged to someone other. The money in the barrel had nowhere to go. I watched a couple argue in the parking lot, watched them get back in the car and drive away. Watched the light across the asphalt shift and settle. The ordinary night doing ordinary things. The last motel, one lamp, one care. The last motel, the weight sits there. Nothing resolved, nothing let go. Just a night. I thought about the breakfast table mornings, the smell of bacon in a house that still was mine, the specific weight of a Sunday with no agenda, before the trailer and the desert and the lie. I didn't cry, I wanna be accurate. I sat there with it the way a man does when the inventory's complete and nothing balances, and the night outside just keeps being what it was. The last motel, one lamp, one chair. The last motel, the weight sits there. Nothing resolved, nothing let go. Just a night. They say a man at the end of everything finds something, a peace or a clarity. I found a motel with a lamp and a parking lot, and the sound of a highway going somewhere else. And I sat in the chair and I held the weight, and it did not get lighter, and I did not put it down. And the night did what nights do, which is pass without judgment, without resolution, without giving a man what he came to get. True, the last motel, the guitar plays one note. Long and lets it go. comes at night mostly. 3 in the morning in the bathroom dark. I brace against the sink and wait it out, and look at what the months have left their mark. The mind stays sharp, that's the particular cruelty. The calculations run as clean as ever did. The body is a building with a failing roof. The man inside it hasn't changed or dimmed. The call that doesn't stop, the body saying when. The cough that doesn't stop, the mind says not yet. But the body has its own timeline. I take the pills in the order that they're given. I sit in the clinic in the plastic chair. The nurses call me Mr. White with patience, the kind you use on someone almost there. I drive myself, I've always driven myself. I park and walk inside without a hand. A dying man still runs his own appointments. A dying man still has his own plan. The cough that doesn't stop, the body saying when. The cough that doesn't stop, the mind says not yet. But the body has its own timeline. There is a moment in a long disease when a man makes a calculation about time. How much of what remains is worth the managing? How much is just the interval before the line? I made the calculation in October, sitting in the car outside the clinic door. The body has a number it's arriving at. The mind decides what happens before that.
In a certain way,
It keeps the timetable in front of me. A man who forgets his time gets distracted. The cough keeps me on schedule, keeps me free. The cough that doesn't stop, the harmonica comes back, tight and low, until it isn't there. The mailbox said white and black letters. The lawn got cut every other week. The neighbors rave from their driveways on Sundays. The kind of house that doesn't make you look twice. There was a baby monitor in the living room, a car wash coupon on the refrigerator door, a family calendar with school events and dinner dates, and underneath all of it, the other floor. Neighbor, Arroyo Lane, land dress that covered it. Neighbor, Arroyo Lane, the ordinary rapper around the thing. his room was yellow. Skylar chose the yellow. I painted it one Saturday in spring, before everything had gotten to the distance that made painting a room a hollow thing. They boarded up the house eventually. Kids came and spray painted the walls inside. I saw a photo of it on the internet. The crib still in the corner, overturned dead. Negra Arroyo Lane, the address that covered it. Negra Arroyo Lane, the ordinary dapper around the thing that wasn't ordinary. A house is just coordinates on a document until a family puts its pattern into it, until the breakfast table in the hallway and the specific light that comes through the kitchen in October make it the only place that holds the shape of what you were. I gave that house to something undeserving. I gave rooms to the secret, and the secret grew until the house was only a shell around what I had decided to become. And the family inside it was the cover, not the point. And I knew that, and I stayed and called it home. Doesn't exist the way it did. The family that lived there doesn't exist. A mailbox in a suburb with a name on it was the last ordinary thing before any of this.
Take up Arroyo Lane.
The guitar plays the notes of a quiet street, one at a time, until the street is empty. I should have told my son I was afraid. The first time, not the cancer, just afraid that I had built a life that didn't fit me, and didn't know how far the wrong had strayed. I should have told Skylar on the first night, set the chemistry down,
Said the truth.
that gray matter had been rotting in me quietly since 1986, and she deserved the crew.
Everything I didn't say,
It's heavier than what I did.
everything I didn't say,
It's what the people closest to me live.
inside of every day.
I should have told Jesse he was worth more
He was worth more
than the use I found for him in the beginning.
in the beginning.
That the boy who failed my class in 2002
Had more integrity than I was carrying.
Oh, I should have told Hank
Oh, Hank,
before the desert
before the desert,
that I was glad I married into the family. That the man I mocked across the dinner table
was steadier than any
the people closest to me live
inside of every day.
Things I said were mostly calculation. The honest ones were pointed somewhere
Beyond said things.
the only ones I own, complete little angle, no design,
No performance there.
I didn't say I was afraid of dying ordinary. I didn't say I loved them past the point of words. I didn't say the lab was where I went to feel real. I didn't say how deep the silence in me had grown.
By the time the diagnosis gave me the excuse,
To finally stop pretending
it wasn't there.
the silence that a family lives around a secret becomes the air they breathe without a name. And what I didn't say became the architecture of a house we all lived inside the same. Everything I didn't say, the bass walks it all alone, slowing down. 5 bars are getting the way it started. Skylar will sit across from someone someday who asks about the years she doesn't make. She'll find the sentence that contains the least of it and live the rest of it inside the frame. Flynn will be at a table somewhere eating, and someone will say the name without a thought. He'll set his foot down and he'll find a sentence that cost him less than telling what it brought. What I left in them is not the money. What I left in them is heavier than that. What I left in them, they carried without asking for it. Jesse will be driving in a few years down a road that doesn't have my name on it. He'll reach a moment that feels almost like freedom, and then he'll feel the edge of it and sit. Holly won't remember any of it directly. She'll grow up in the shape of what was left. She'll have a mother who survived a husband and carry the grammar of that loss. What I left in them is not the money. What I left in them is heavier than that. What I left in them, they carry without asking for it. The money was the easy part to calculate. 8 figures in a barrel in the ground.
weight I put in every person near me is the kind that doesn't have a compound. It doesn't earn interest, it just sits in the body, in the room, in the pause before they answer when someone asks about their years. It changed the way they breathe, it changed the way they sit across from people. It changed what trust means in a specific and permanent way. And that's the legacy that no amount of blue in any barrel, in any desert, about the weight more than the product, more than the empire, more than what I built, what I left inside the people who were near me is the measure that I can't distill of what I left in them. The piano plays it loud. Slow.
A formula always balances at the end. The left side equals the right side every time. Whatever you put in the equation come back out balanced on the other line. I put in 30 years of ordinary living. I put in the resentment and the pride. I put in the cancer and the trailer kitchen, and the balance came out on the other side. The formula always balanced, it came out right. The formula always balanced in the end of the night. Whatever I put in came back out. Balance. I put in a family and I put in a secret. I put in an empire and a name. I put in Jane and Hank and all Jesse crying, and the formula balanced out the same. The chemist doesn't argue with the outcome. The outcome is a proof of what is true. I put in Walter White and what he wanted, and the balance came back blue. The formula always balanced, it came out right. The formula always balanced in the end of the night. Whatever I put in came back out. Balance, balance. There is no version where it comes out differently. The formula doesn't care what you intended. A man who puts in what I put into it gets back exactly what he spent. The wife gets a house with no husband. The son gets a name he can barely say. The student gets a road and the darkness. The dollar gets a shape of an absence. The blue gets the desert gets the barrel, and Walter White gets a laugh, gets a score, gets the last good thing he ever made. Running a boat